how I found the love of my life. Hello, everyone. My name is Iris, and I'm about to share with you a story that's very close to my heart. It's a tale of love, betrayal, and resilience, one that has shaped my life in ways I could never have imagined. So, please, join me as I recount my story and the incredible adventure that led me to find my happily ever after. I've always been the shy, introverted girl who buries herself in books and enjoys her own company. My parents worried about me making friends, but I was content with my small circle of like-minded companions. Academically, I excelled in every subject, and my teachers praised me for my intelligence and focus. During my junior year of high school, I crossed paths with Joseph, the school's heartthrob and notorious bad boy. At first glance, he seemed arrogant and self-absorbed, with his leather jacket and confident swagger. Everyone fawned over him, but I couldn't understand the appeal. In my eyes, he was just another guy who didn't take anything seriously. One day during lunch, I accidentally spilled my drink on Joseph's new shoes. I could feel my face turn beet red as I stammered an apology. He glared at me, saying, "You need to watch where you're going, Iris." I was mortified, and in that moment, I could feel a tension building between us. From that day on, our rivalry began, with Joseph always trying to outshine me in academics and extracurricular activities. In the hallways, he would taunt me, "Hey, Iris, ready to lose in the upcoming math competition?" I clenched my fists and retorted, "Just you wait, Joseph. You're going down." His smug grin only fueled my determination to prove myself. During a debate club meeting, I couldn't help but be annoyed by Joseph's presence. As he presented his argument, I rolled my eyes and whispered to my friend, "Can you believe this guy?" My friend, let's call her Ivy, giggled and replied, "Come on, Iris. He's not that bad. You should give him a chance." I shook my head. "No way. He's just a show-off, and I don't want anything to do with him." As the school year progressed, our rivalry intensified, and it seemed as though we were in a constant battle to outperform one another. Our classmates took notice, often placing bets on who would come out on top in each contest. Little did I know that everything was about to change, and I would soon discover a side of Joseph I never knew existed. One day, our English teacher, let's call her Ms. Thompson, assigned us a project that required us to work in pairs. I was in the hallway, hoping that I would be paired with Ivy. But everything is not always like what we wanted. She came to me with a mischievous smile. "You'll never guess who will be paired with you in the upcoming English project." And to my horror, Ms. Thompson paired me with Joseph. In the moments I heard the news, Joseph walked towards us. He looked at me with a stupid smirk on his face. "Guess we're stuck together, huh?" I tried to hide my frustration and replied, "Let's just get this over with." "Okay, see ya." He walked away with that stupid smirk still on his face. The project was to analyze a classic novel and create a visual presentation illustrating the story's themes and motifs. We chose To Kill a Mockingbird and agreed to meet at the library after school to start working. At first, our partnership was tense, and we barely spoke to each other. But as the days went by, we began to discuss the book more openly. Surprisingly, Joseph had insightful ideas and a deep understanding of the novel's themes. One day, while working on the presentation, Joseph shared his thoughts on the symbolism of the mockingbird. "I think the mockingbird represents innocence, you know. It's like how Atticus says it's a sin to kill a mockingbird because they only bring beauty and joy to the world," he said, his voice full of passion. I looked at him, astonished. "You're absolutely right, Joseph. I never thought of it that way." As we continued to work together, we discovered we had a lot in common. We both enjoyed classic movies, had a mutual love for astronomy, and shared a passion for debating social issues. Slowly, Our rivalry transformed into a budding friendship. Joseph and I began to confide in each other about our personal struggles. He told me about his parents' divorce and how it had affected him. I shared my insecurities about fitting in and my fear of never being good enough. One day, as we walked home together, Joseph turned to me and said, "You know, Iris, I never expected us to become friends. I'm really glad we had the chance to work together and get to know each other." I smiled and replied, "Me too, Joseph. I have to admit, I judged you too quickly. You're nothing like the person I thought you were." Our friendship grew stronger, and I began to see Joseph in a new light. He was more than just the bad boy persona he showed to the world. He was a kind, compassionate, and intelligent person. Before I continue the story, I introduce Jana. He played a big part of the downfall between me and Joseph, and I will tell you more about him now. As Joseph and I grew closer, I couldn't help but notice that our classmate Jana seemed to be bothered by our friendship. Jana had always been friendly to me, but I could sense something was off. He would often give me lingering glances and seemed overly invested in my conversations with Joseph. One day, as I was working on a group project with Jana, he hesitated before asking, "So, you and Joseph seem to be getting along pretty well lately. What's going on between you two?" I shrugged, not wanting to read too much into his question. "We're just friends, Jana. We found out we have a lot in common." Jana's eyes narrowed, and he responded with a hint of jealousy, "Just friends, huh?" Unbeknownst to me, Jana had developed feelings for me and felt threatened by my growing bond with Joseph. In his insecurity, he devised a plan to sabotage our relationship by spreading rumors and creating misunderstandings between us. The first sign of trouble came when our classmates began to gossip about Joseph and me. I overheard a group of girls in the hallway whispering about how Joseph was supposedly using me to improve his grades. Their words stung, but I brushed them off, believing in the sincerity of our friendship. As time went on, the rumors became more malicious. One day, I received a text message from an unknown number, claiming that Joseph had been talking behind my back and making fun of my insecurities. The message rattled me, and I couldn't help but wonder if there was any truth to it. Confused and hurt, I confronted Joseph after school. "I heard you've been talking about me, Joseph. Is it true? Are you just using me to get better grades?" Joseph looked shocked and hurt. "Iris, I would never do that. I thought we were friends. Why would you believe such lies?" I hesitated, tears brimming in my eyes. "I don't know what to believe anymore, Joseph. People are saying all these things, and it's overwhelming." As the misunderstandings piled up, Joseph and I began to drift apart. Our once thriving friendship was now on the verge of collapse. One day, Jana approached me in the hallway with a concerned expression. "Iris, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I saw Joseph flirting with another girl during lunch. It looked pretty serious." I rushed to the scene and saw Joseph was really talking to the girl, feeling betrayed and heartbroken. In a moment of anger, I lashed out at Joseph. "How could you, Joseph? I thought I meant something to you." Joseph tried to defend himself, but I was too hurt to listen. We had a major argument, and our friendship crumbled. We stopped talking to each other and went our separate ways, both of us nursing our wounded hearts. The days following our argument were lonely and filled with sadness. I missed Joseph terribly, but my pride prevented me from reaching out to him. I replayed the events in my mind, wondering if I had been too quick to judge him. Deep down, I knew that our friendship meant more to me than I had ever realized, and I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to our connection than met the eye. One day, as I was walking through the school courtyard, I overheard a conversation between Jana and one of his friends. They were laughing about how easy it had been to drive a wedge between Joseph and me. My heart raced as I listened to them recount their manipulative schemes and how they had spread the lies that had torn us apart. Filled with anger and determination, I confronted Jana. "So it was you all along, Jana? You're the one who's been trying to sabotage my friendship with Joseph." Jana tried to deny it, but I could see the guilt in his eyes. "I don't know what you're talking about, Iris. I didn't do anything." I glared at him, my voice shaking with anger. "I heard you, Jana. I heard everything. You were jealous, so you decided to ruin our friendship. How could you be so cruel?" Jana finally admitted the truth, his voice barely a whisper. "I'm sorry, Iris. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I had feelings for you, and I couldn't stand the thought of you being with Joseph." My anger subsided, replaced by pity for Jana. I understood his pain, but I couldn't forgive him for what he had done. "You need to learn, Jana, that hurting others won't make you happy. I hope you can find a way to make things right. Before we continue, I want to tell you about how Jana tried to mess with our friendship." Looking back at the series of events that led to the rift between Joseph and me, I can see now how Jana's manipulative actions nearly destroyed our relationship. Jana started by spreading rumors about Joseph and me. He would casually mention to our classmates that he had heard Joseph talking about using me for better grades, planting seeds of doubt in their minds. These whispers spread through the school like wildfire, reaching my ears and causing me to question Joseph's intentions. To create further misunderstandings, Jana enlisted the help of one of his friends. They devised a plan to make it appear as if Joseph had betrayed my trust. Jana's friend sent me an anonymous text message, claiming that Joseph had been making fun of my insecurities behind my back. This message shook me to my core, and my trust in Joseph began to waver. About the part when Jana told me Joseph was flirting with another girl. She was just nothing more than a friendly classmate who was unaware of Jana's scheme to destroy our relationship. At the moment Jana told me, I couldn't believe what I was hearing. The idea of Joseph betraying me in such a way was devastating. Jana's words, combined with the anonymous text message, led me to question everything I knew about our relationship. In my pain and confusion, I confronted Joseph, causing a major argument between us. And the final result is me causing me went off at Joseph, as you can see. With the truth finally revealed, I knew I had to make amends with Joseph. I found him sitting alone in our usual spot in the library, looking lost in thought. As I approached, he looked up, and our eyes met. The air was heavy with unspoken words and emotions. "Joseph," I began, my voice trembling, "I know the truth now. I'm so sorry for doubting you and believing those lies. Can you ever forgive me?" Joseph's face softened, and he reached for my hand. "Iris, there's nothing to forgive. I should have tried harder to prove my innocence. But what matters now is that we know the truth, and we can move past this." As we sat there, our hands entwined, I realized that my feelings for Joseph had grown beyond friendship. I looked into his eyes and whispered, "Joseph, there's something I need to tell you. I think I've fallen in love with you." A smile spread across his face, and his eyes sparkled with joy. "Iris, I've been in love with you for a while now. I just didn't know how to tell you." We leaned in for our first kiss, sealing our newfound love and commitment to each other. Our friendship had been tested and had emerged stronger than ever. But our story was far from over. As graduation approached, we would face new challenges and exciting adventures that would forever shape our lives. As the end of the school year approached, the excitement of graduation filled the air. Joseph and I, now a couple, eagerly anticipated the next chapter of our lives. Our relationship had grown stronger, and we had become inseparable. We spent our days dreaming about our future together and making plans for college. On the day of our high school graduation, we stood side by side in our caps and gowns, our hearts swelling with pride and joy. Our families and friends cheered as we received our diplomas and threw our caps into the air, signifying the end of an unforgettable journey. After the ceremony, our families gathered for a celebration at my house. We laughed and reminisced about our high school years, sharing stories and memories that would stay with us forever. As the sun began to set, Joseph took my hand and led me to the backyard, where he had prepared a surprise. There, under a canopy of twinkling fairy lights, was a small table set for two, adorned with roses and candles. I looked at Joseph, my eyes filling with tears, and whispered, "This is beautiful. What's the occasion?" Joseph smiled and replied, "I just wanted to do something special for us, to celebrate our journey together." We sat down and enjoyed a romantic dinner, talking about our dreams and aspirations. As we shared our hopes for the future, I felt a sense of contentment and gratitude for the love we shared. As the evening came to an end, Joseph took my hand and led me to the center of the backyard. He looked into my eyes, his voice full of emotion. "Iris, these past months with you have been the best of my life. I never knew I could love someone as much as I love you. You've shown me what it means to be truly happy, and I want to spend the rest of my life with you." Tears streamed down my face as I realized what was happening. Joseph got down on one knee, pulled a small velvet box from his pocket, and opened it to reveal a beautiful diamond ring. "Iris, will you marry me?" Overwhelmed with happiness, I nodded through my tears. "Yes, Joseph. Yes, 1,000 times." We embraced, our hearts overflowing with love and joy. That night, under a sky full of stars, we began the next chapter of our lives together, filled with hope and excitement for the future. The months leading up to our wedding were a whirlwind of excitement and anticipation. Our families and friends came together to help us plan the perfect day, offering their support and guidance every step of the way. We faced minor obstacles, such as finding the perfect venue and choosing the menu, but we overcame them together, our love and resilience stronger than ever. As the big day approached, I couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder and gratitude for the love Joseph and I shared. It had survived jealousy, deceit, and heartache, and had blossomed into something truly beautiful. On our wedding day, the sun shone brightly, as if the universe was blessing our union. Our ceremony took place in a beautiful garden filled with flowers, surrounded by our closest friends and family. As I walked down the aisle toward Joseph, my heart swelled with happiness and love. We exchanged our vows, our voices filled with emotion, and promised to love and cherish one another for the rest of our lives. As we sealed our commitment with a kiss, the crowd erupted in cheers, and we knew we had finally found our happily ever after. At the reception, we danced and laughed, celebrating our love with those who mattered most. As the evening progressed, I noticed a familiar face in the crowd, Jana. Feeling nervous, I approached him. "Jana, what are you doing here?" He looked at me, his eyes filled with remorse. "Iris, I came to apologize to you and Joseph. I'm truly sorry for all the pain I caused you both. I've had a lot of time to reflect on my actions, and I've realized how wrong I was. I hope you can find it in your hearts to forgive me." Joseph joined us, placing a hand on my shoulder. "Jana, we appreciate your apology. It takes a lot of courage to admit your mistakes and seek forgiveness. We wish you well and hope you find happiness in your own life." Jana nodded, grateful for our understanding, and wished us a lifetime of happiness before leaving the reception. As the night came to an end, Joseph and I shared one last dance under the moonlit sky, our hearts full of love and gratitude for the journey we had shared. And so, our fairy tale wedding marked the beginning of our new life together, a testament to the power of love and resilience. Hand in hand, we stepped into the future, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead, knowing that our love would conquer all.